I'm back. Now I have to convince you guys that the dude that told gay jokes about satellites last night can change your life. We finna find out if I'm the hardcore closer or not, huh? So, glad to be back up here. Fuck, you guys got to be like ass worn out at the end of the day, at the end of this conference, you know. I'm one of those people that I have been in rooms like this so many times, and the first 10 minutes of the event, I was like, oh shit, that's what I'm here for. And then 3 days later, I just have so much, 2 days later, so much going on in my head. It's like, now I got to go home and figure out how to do all this shit, right? And now I got to go home and actually put this shit into place. So I feel you, you know. I'm not going to be like I can't hear you, motherfucker, because I hate those people. I really want to help you, you know. I got 45, 30 minutes, however long you want me up here, because I guess I'm the last person out of all this. So, but I want to help you guys out. You know, I could get up here and give you the speech that's prepared like probably everybody else has, you know, and a lot more shit to bang your head against the wall and wrap around, or I could just help you guys out. So I just want to ask around, like, what do you guys come here for? Like, what did you pay the money and travel to come and be in this room for? What did you come here for? Like, you spent the money and the time to get here. You're like, man, I'd like to know this about being in that room. Okay? Team building. Okay. Gotcha. Free up your time. You, ma'am? Team. Okay? You, ma'am? Say it again. Okay. What did you come here for? And when you are employed, it's called a W-2. When you're self-employed, it's called a W-9. You know why? Because 9 is a lot more money than 2. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a bigger number. You make more money than 2. So I'm just saying it, you know. So it's 1099 or W-9, depending on what company you're sending a bill to, just by the way. So, because I know there's somebody in here that's like, well, it's not entirely true. Damn it. It's just jokes. Calm down. It's no need to be technical. So who's here for, like, learn how to, like, employ people and build a team and shit, right? Some of y'all, that's, like, mainly what you came for. What else? What's something somebody else? Okay, yell it. Yes, ma'am. Leverage on what? Gotcha. This same shit, team, okay? All right. So here's something cool. 2.5 years ago, I had one employee. I'm sorry. Yes, 2.5 years ago, I had one employee and just me and one other person. I had built the team, destroyed it, built the team, destroyed it. How many of y'all have, like, hired some people and then been, like, drastically disappointed, right? And then you got to fire them. You like, then it makes it weird, you know, at family gatherings. And, be a shitty Christmas this year. You know, I'm literally going to Iowa tomorrow for my wife's sister's wedding, and her other sister, not the one getting married, but the other sister, may be watching this shit online. Damn it, Melissa. Anyway, I once gave her a job and she quit. It made, like, Christmas really fucking awkward. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, you know? And so it can be tough. But now, I asked my CFO the other day how many people are on our payroll that I employ, and it was 74. So in a short period of time, I've been able to grow, and it's crazy because some of these people that left before came back because we got our stuff together, right? So what I'm saying is in 2017, I had an instance in my life where I lost my employees and some of my clients, right? I allowed certain people to be in my life and not carry myself a certain way, which I'll explain to you guys in a second. And it made me a bad leader in a sense of the people left, clients, and some of my employees, right? And it really hurt me so much that I had to figure out how I could employ people for life. How I could get somebody to want to do business with me for life, both customers and the people that work for me. We work really hard to build a customer for life, but then when we employ somebody, we think of them for a season or a reason, never really for a lifetime. And when I started thinking about doing life with employees rather than just doing life with my customers or doing business with my employees or business with my customers, and really I don't even like to say my employees, I like to say the team. You know, I never say that this person works for me. If I do, it's some sort of Freudian slip. But I always say I work with this person. I'm always trying to edify the other person. But we have a huge team of people across a few companies that I run. I've got a sales guy that started off as a customer that's been with me for the whole 2.5 years. He's almost at 3 years with me. That's done $10 million in sales for us. Like one guy. He does $1 million a month in sales for us consistently right now or more, and has been doing this for a long time. That's like more than a lot of real estate agents do in a month, right? But this guy is now the top guy in his industry because of the stuff I'm about to teach you guys. So you want to learn how to build a team and stuff, that's something that I actually have had to get good at. So I have two mentors. One of them is a billionaire who exited his company debt-free, cash money, $1.8 billion 3 years ago now. And another mentor is the pastor of a mega church here in Frisco. Keith, the pastor, has been my mentor for about 19 years, and Bobby for about a year. And I tell you that because I was with Keith doing a Zoom call about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and we were talking about leadership. He leads this huge church. If you know who he is, he's just an amazing, dynamic preacher. He's not like Joel Osteen. Like Keith would beat up Joel Osteen. Like he's just like that guy, like just body slamming. He's like a huge guy. He would do that. They're buddies, but Anyway, I say that because he's a person that I look up to as like the ultimate leader, And he says we're having this talk about leadership because I'm figuring if I'm going to scale a business, if I'm going to hire people, if I'm going to get leverage, like you said, then I got to learn leadership. Because the truth is, everything rises and falls on leadership. Chet Black, he spoke today, right? I fucking love that guy. He's the reason I wear only black shirts. He was my coach in 2018. It was David Goggins for 2017, John Cheplack for 2018. And one of the things that I got from John, probably still the most important, I think, is just black T-shirt at all times. It really simplified my life. John's a very deep guy. He's done some amazing stuff for me. But I say this because Keith is telling this story about leadership to me. I want to learn how to become a better leader if I'm going to do everything. Oh, sorry, got a little sidetracked. John's story, one time at my event, he tells this story. He asked somebody, he says, if you're parked at a red light, he may have said this shit today, but if you're parked at a red light and someone rear ends you, whose fault is it? Right? And most people say the person that hit me, and he's like, nah, you're at the light, so you're going to have to assume some sort of responsibility for it. And I'm like, wow, that's extreme ownership. That's what we got to do as leaders, And by the way, the people I employ, they're not bitch-ass motherfuckers. I have 2 Navy SEALs, a Green Beret, fixing to be 3 Navy SEALs. I have an ex-cartel leader from fucking prison, right? I got like my sales guy has Meme Lord tattooed across his fucking knuckles. The guy that I was just telling you that's the industry leader. Like, we have an interesting fucking group of people that make this team work, okay? But I'm telling you it's because of what I'm teaching you guys. So, with the leadership thing and responsibility, Keith says everything rises and falls on leadership. And I listened to John talk about being at the red light. It's like, I really got to just take responsibility for everything if I'm going to be in a leadership position. Keith says there's 2 types of leaders. There's natural-born leaders and there's situational leaders. If you look at Jesus from the Bible, he's a natural-born leader. At 12 years old, he's in the synagogue teaching people, right? The rabbis are listening to him, and even his mama, if you think about that, I'm not here to preach to you, but even his mama's like, get out of here. What are you telling those guys, right? In our family, the first people to shit on us. Damn it, Mom, I'm doing my job over here. I'm trying to be Jesus, and you over here. That's family, though, right? You find out real quick, try to sell your family a house. Well, I'm glad you got your license, but we really don't love you as much as you think we do. You know what I mean? So, some of y'all didn't even laugh because that just brought up old memories. I'm sorry. It's the end of the day. But he says there's natural-born leader like Jesus. Then there's situational leader like Moses. Most people don't know this, Moses was a murderer. And then all of a sudden, he just got put into a position where he's like the leader of the Jews. Like, he's got to take these people. We know the story, part the Red Sea and all that. Like, that was never his calling. He's like this old man that all of a sudden he's like, shit, I got to run stuff now. If none of you fuckers are going to step up, I got to do it. Right? It's the greatest Bible sermon ever. You'll never hear it recalibrated like this, you know. But I feel like if we wrote the Bible today, that's how it would be written. You know what I mean? Like, you know, language has adapted over time. So is our ability to tell stories. Those guys were really boring, you know. So anyway, sorry. So I tell Keith, I said, well, I'm not a natural born leader. I'm more of a situational. Like, my back's against the wall. I'm unemployable, so I had to create a business, and now I feel like I'm forced to be this leader, and I didn't want to. Even my company, Apex, Break Free Academy, none of that's Ryan Stewman University. I never wanted to be the guy or the face of that, right? And he said, you got to be kidding me. He said, you were running drug schemes with grown men when you were 16, 17, and 18 years old, figuring out supply, finding ways to do it. She's like, you've been leading people your whole life. What are you talking about? And I'm like, man, I never really thought of it that way. Because here's why I tell you that story, is because you probably never really thought of it that way either. If you really think about it, you're in this room because you are a leader, or you have the ability, the capability to lead. And what I mean by that is I oftentimes, you know, I'm a 42-year-old, 205-pound, married man, father of 4, and when I look in a mirror, I still see 21-year-old, dumbass, skinny, fucking dumb mistake-making Ryan Stewman. Anybody else suffer from that shit too? I tell you this, the other day, my wife and I are laying in bed. We talked at the end of the night. There's 2 things, if I could give you family time, that'll really help you. That's been a game changer for my family, because we're growing. Not anymore. I got a vasectomy, but we were growing. And so, not that y'all needed to know that, but I just felt like throwing that in there. But in case you're wondering. So anyway, we do something called a family huddle every night. We gather the family around. My little 5-year-old, he'll tell you, because he starts yelling about 7 o'clock because he loves it so much. And we do praises and prayers every night. So we say, hey, Asher, what's your praise today? He goes, man, I had a great day at school. We won our soccer game. What's your prayer? Well, I pray that Harlan gets better because she was sick this morning. And so we just go around, and everybody kind of tells us the highlight of their day and what their concern is. That's how we know what's going on in our kids' heads. And then Amy shares, it's my wife's name. She shares, you know, her praise and prayers. I do the same thing, and then I pray for the family. It's like a 5-minute ordeal. It's not some big deal, but we don't get to eat dinner together every night because, you know, I'm speaking on stage. They're probably eating right now, and I'm not home all the time. So that's to make sure. And then when I'm not home, that's something we can do on FaceTime, you know, with the kids as well. So not that has anything to do with leadership other than in the house too, but that's something that may help you. The second thing is our pillow talk. Amy and I, before we go to sleep every night, we lay down, recap the day. Again, 5-10 minutes, usually enough to put you to sleep. And the other night, I say, man, I don't feel like these people are taking me serious. And she goes, what do you mean? And I explained the situation I'm in. She goes, are you fucking kidding me? They're scared of you. And I went, what the fuck would they be scared of me? She goes, have you looked in a mirror lately? You're covered in tattoos. You just look angry by nature, right? And you know, my wife's the person that can be honest with you. And so, but like I said, here I am. I think I'm this insignificant person still. This is like a couple of days ago, you know, and the truth is, she's like, you scare people. And I'm like, what would they be scared of? Because I don't see that, right? So I say that for you because maybe you don't think you're a leader, or maybe you don't think you have the capacity to really train people or teach people or attract people, but you do. But it has to start with you. Because here's the thing. You have to ask yourself, it's a really fucking hard question if you really ask yourself this. Would you work for you? Would you risk your fucking career for you knowing who you are right now? Thank you. I would. I'd come work for me for fucking free. But that's who I got to be. When the pandemic hit in 2020, I had about 7 employees. And this nothing to do with that. But the fact is, we didn't know what the fuck we were going to do. We're in Dallas. They told us we couldn't work in the building. Turns out they were wrong. I was hoping they would come fuck with us because I wanted to be on the news, because I know how to spin PR shit. They never showed up. Why? Because we got money. They knew better because we have the ability in the network to fight some of the shit that they were going to do. So they didn't fuck with us. They fucked with barbers and shit. They couldn't afford to fight them. So they never fucked with us. I don't want smoke though. I'm just saying. So anyway, during that, I go in and I tell my team, these are 7 people. I got to pay for their family. You know, at that time, probably $50,000 a month or so, or $50,000 every 2-week pay period, some shit like that, right? Because I pay well. We'll get to that in a minute. But I go in there and I got to talk to these people and simply say, hey, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but if we got to knock doors and sell roofs, or if I got to knock doors and sell roofs, if I got to refinance my house, if I got to sell a couple Lamborghinis, if I got to sell some watches, whatever the fuck, just know that we're doing our deal here, and I got your back, and I'm going to make sure you get paid, so don't worry about that shit. Let's just fucking do what we can do. Matter of fact, how can we give away the shit that we've been charging for people for free because we know they're going to get hurt? Right? And so at that point, the team, all those people are still in that room with me right now. They won't leave. You could offer them twice what I fucking pay them, which you'd have to pay them a lot of money because, like I said, I pay good. They won't leave. You know? But here's what we discovered throughout this hiring process. The first person that you got to hire, first you have to identify who you are. Okay? So, and then I'll tell you your first hire. So there's 4 levels to business, and there's 2 people at the level that I imagine most of you need to be at. First level is you work for somebody. You're in sales. You work for somebody. You're employed. If you're a real estate agent and you're 1099, you work for yourself. You would be in the second bracket, which would be an entrepreneur, self-employed, right? You don't have a boss, but maybe you don't have a whole bunch of people. You're not necessarily a CEO. You're a self-employed entrepreneur. Maybe got an assistant, something like that. The third level is a CEO. That's somebody who's got a board of director, employees, a brand, and a business. The fourth level that we're all trying to get to is not fucking retirement, because you go spend 2-3 days on the beach, you're like, I got to get back to the office, I got shit to do. The fuck we going to spend the rest of our life there, right? We're not going to. That's when bad things happen to us health-wise and shit. We're driven people, right? So the thing is, the last step is ownership. How can I build a brand that I can own that somebody else can run? So if I'm in level 1, I need to master the skills of sales and marketing. If I'm at level 2, I need to master hiring and training. If I'm at level 3, I need to master leadership and brand building. If I'm level 4, I need to master money and taxes. Okay? That's how it works. Real simple. So now you need to know what level that you're on. Second thing is if you're at the CEO level or the entrepreneur level, the first person and the most important person you can hire is the integrator to your visionary. There's a book by Gino Wickman called Rocket Fuel. It is the single greatest fucking document written for businesses like what we run in history. I'm telling you, I've read thousands of books. That is the only way I've got an education is through doing shit and reading shit. And this is the best fucking book on business for people like us that are running small teams we're trying to grow into big shit. Because the foundation of this is the 2-person relationship between the visionary, typically called the CEO, the person, in my instance, the guy that says, here's where we're going, here's the plan, here's what I see happening, let's make this happen. And then there is the integrator, which is the person that takes the vision from the visionary and not necessarily does the work, but makes the work happen. Pours into the team, hires, trains, fires, delegates, all the stuff so that the visionary, us, can keep the thing moving. Because on level 3, when you're the CEO and you have an integrator, typically called the COO in the working world, right? You have a COO that's integrating the stuff for you. You're building a brand. Now, all of a sudden, you've got someone else working and building the business, okay? So the first most important person you can hire is the integrator. Now, if you're the person that likes to be on the signs, if you're the person that likes to be in the videos, you're the person that likes to be on social media, you are the visionary. It's that simple. If you want the attention, you're the visionary. That's how it goes. That person that you hire doesn't need to be any fucking thing like you. They actually need to be really annoying at times. My integrator is a Green Beret, right? For our Apex Elite stuff. And he's so fucking analytical, it's annoying. First of all, I'm very respectful because I'm not trying to get beat the fuck up by somebody that works for me. But he's very analytical. I own a software company called Phone Sites. Mike, who's the COO of Phone Sites, super fucking analytical, very annoying to me, but needed, and it slows me down because I'm go, but he's making sure that I'm not fucking up while I'm going, right? And so that is the most important hire. Here's the problem with most people. We're scared to pay that dollars. Like Mike, shit, that's multiple 6 figures a year, you know? And I don't give ownership in companies. That's not how I roll, and we're not here to explain how I do that shit. But just so you know, like, I'm paying people to actually work, because when you give somebody partnerships that say, man, I'm not really sure if I think I can always pay you, so I'm gonna give you some equity in this company, so that if I fuck up, then you're gonna have to suffer alongside of me. That's not leadership. Leadership is, I don't give a fuck what's going on with this pandemic. If I got to sell a car or a house or whatever the fuck I got to do, we're going to make the shit work, right? Like, that's how you have to think. So when I hire, let's say that this person's $20,000 a month. Let's just say Mike's $20,000 a month is what he wants in salary, not in a fucking bonus, not in a sales commission. In order for me to leave my $300,000 a year job working for fucking McAfee, doing whatever the hell cyber shit that he does for us now, I'm going to need at least $20,000 a month to take care of my family, plus some fucking kind of structure and shit like that, right? That's a big, I don't give a fuck how much money you're making, whether you make millions of dollars a month, or whether you make fucking $10,000 a month, or $100,000 a month. 20 grand for a salary for anybody is you betting that $250,000 you can get a return on that person. And a lot of times, when you think of it at that level, you think, well, shit, you start being really picky on who you can hire. Because all of a sudden, you got a lot of options at that level, too. And a lot of motherfuckers pledging to do all the work that needs to be done. And so I say that because as soon as I hire him, the first thing he hits me up is he says, we got $150,000 in the bank. I'm just giving you guys round numbers here, so it's easy math for me. I hire him $20,000. That $150,000 is mine that I got in there in a loan. $20,000 a month. First thing he says is, hey, I need another $10,000 to hire this person and this person. And it's scary, right? Because now I'm going to have to either borrow money, raise money, some shit that I've never done before. I'm debt-free when it comes to that. None of my businesses have any liens against them anywhere. We do big money. We don't mention it publicly, but it's a lot. And even in the software company. And the same thing, it's like, fuck, I was scared. For 3-4 months, he's spending $20,000. I'm loaning a little bit more for his salary. Then I'm spending like $10,000 here, $10,000 here. But dude, by the time month 5 came around, this guy's got like 8 people working there. Now we got, $200,000-$300,000 in the bank. This thing's kicking out multiple fucking 6 figures a month in recurring income. We're talking to private equity people about how we can sell this shit. He just texted me before I got on stage. He goes, we just inked a deal with the XFL today. He goes, I've also got some other shit going on with Live Nation. So, I mean, like, if I wouldn't have hired that guy play on that level, you know what I'm saying? If I hired some $50,000 a year integrator, that guy's not going to have those connections to be able to do that shit and carry that company. But it's just like anything else. When you buy a house to flip, right, you put your last fucking dollar into it, and then you go put the contractors and blah, blah, blah. But then when that motherfucker sells 6 months later, you got your money back, you feel rich for at least a month until the bills show back up, right? So that's why I don't flip houses anymore. So that first person's important. It's going to be painful, financial. But I think you should write this down, because this is one of the greatest business quotes that I know of. I don't know who said it. Maybe I made it up. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I read it in a book somewhere. But your ability to obtain success is in direct proportion of your tolerance for financial pain. I was with a friend of mine named Andy Frisella last year, and we were at his facility that he had built and opened right before that, and it's like 100 or 200,000 square feet. And I said, man, fuck, dude, he's telling me it's the most expensive thing he's ever paid for, and it's very nice. And I was like, man, fuck, what was it like writing that check, man? Because they're debt-free too. And he's like, man, my whole life savings, everything that we put back, we put into this bitch. And he goes, and a month later, we outgrew this motherfucker. We're building this one over here next. I'm like, shit, that's how it is, though. He said, man, no matter what size building we've bought, we've outgrown it, because that's really what's happening is you're setting a goal for yourself. I'm coming up on 5 years in my office. We have about 4,000 square feet, and it's $10,000 a month over here in one of these high-rises. Been there for 5 years. That first month, when I wrote that $10,000 check for rent, plus putting 20 down, plus 30 or whatever for furniture, I thought, this is going to be the goddamn company. I will never financially recover for this. You seen that meme, right? We will never financially recover from this shit. My kids never missed a meal. I never missed a mortgage payment. Never had anything. We always figure it out. That's the fuck we do. But we got to kind of put our back against the wall. But when you got 70 people, you start to figure it out. When you got 10 people, 5 people, you start to figure it out for them too. You start to care a little bit more. But here's the thing about leadership. If it's my personal responsibility then I got to clearly communicate who I am and what I stand for with everybody that works with me, right? A mission and core values does that. You've probably heard a million people tell you that. But there's only two people I know of that run a ship as tight as I do. I'm one of those people. There's only two people in existence that run like what I do, me and Andy Frisella. And I learned it from him. And we run a very fucking tight ship with core values and with our mission. So our mission for our company is to help as many people as possible to become the greatest version of themselves. It's not to help a million people. It's not to help some people. It's not to help smart people, dumb people, rich people, poor people. It's to help as many people as possible. As many people. That's a never-ending goal. It's a finite goal and mission. Every day when these gentlemen and these ladies that work with me show up on the job, they're saying, today is the day that I help as many people as possible. Today is the day that I help as many people as possible. They're all bought into it. And it's clear, hey, you got a problem? Hey, does that help as many people as possible, or does that get in the way of us helping people? Clear, that we know what the fuck it is. We don't have to have a big, long conversation. It's very simple. And we have 4 supporting core values. You can't fuck them up, right? What's one of them, Cade? We do the work, right? And our job, that sounds really simple, but what that is, that's a work ethic. You come to work for us. We don't care what your resume is. We don't care if you used to be a Navy SEAL. I'm the smartest man alive is a good friend of mine. I don't give a fuck if you're him. Like, if you don't meet these core values, you can't fucking work for us. I don't care where your degree is, what your political belief is, what your background. We have people from all walks of life, backgrounds, countries. We have people from Russia that work for us here in America. We have a young man named Jafar that's from Russia. We have an old man named Robert that's here from Dallas, right? We've got like across everything that you can think of, and I don't give a shit what their background is. Like I said, cartel leader or whatever, as long as they get these 4 core values. We're on this mission. Core value number 1 is we do the work. Here, we're not here to make excuses. We're not here to, make reasons why this. We're not even here to make friends. We're here to do the work. What's number 2? Fuck your excuses. Probably 90% of the people that work on my team have FYE tattooed on them somewhere. You have it, right? So that means fuck your excuses. That's some die-hard shit when the people that work with you, and I got hundreds of clients that have it. I never asked or paid for anybody to get that. Matter of fact, she had it before we worked together anyway. But that's the thing. It's like, that's not saying we don't make mistakes. It's not saying we don't make mistakes. It's saying we don't make excuses. So Mariana, something was supposed to happen. I'm supposed to have a certain shit to be on stage or whatever the case is. And it doesn't happen. It's not, well, what happened was he was supposed to do it, blah, blah. It's like, I fucked up. Won't happen next time. We'll fix it. That's it. That needs to be the conversation anyway, right? Ownership on the team, right? So you get those core values. We get it. Number 3 is we do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it. It's real simple. That goes between the team, for our clients, for anything. Let me give you a real-life example of that. 2 years ago, I put $100,000 of my money into an investment and borrowed $400,000, or I didn't borrow it. I got my friends to put in $400,000 additional on top of my 100 to put into an investment. That investment 12 months later is the first and only investment in my life to ever go to zero. I told my friends it was guaranteed, hey man, I put my shit on it. I paid them back out of my own money. $700,000. So here's what I say. When I do what I say when I'm going to do. When I say I'm going to do it, those guys don't even fucking know that I paid them. They don't know that deal didn't close. Who do you fucking know does that? You think I got $700,000 laying around rich? I'm not that rich. Right? Seriously, but my family ain't missed a meal. And I promise you, I just sold this fucking huge arena out across the corner because I got integrity on that level. But that's real leadership. I don't say that to pat myself on the back. I'm just telling you the extremes that I have gone to prove these fucking core values. It's not like, oh, it's some shit we say. These fucking guys, Zach is a client that Cade works with. This guy travels all over the country, leaves his fucking girlfriend and his life behind on a fucking whim to be able to travel with me like it's nothing. These people are committed. Same with Mariana. She doesn't even have to be here, but these people are committed. The 4th and final one is we do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it. Oh, I said that already, right? 4th and final one is we go above and beyond. Sorry. It is almost imperative that we fuck up the 4th one. Like we do it all the time. I'll explain in a minute. But we go above and beyond. So in our floor, for example, It's been nice during the pandemic, but now we're having to share the building again. The fucking, what do they call them? The non-essentials are back. And so we're sharing the building with them. They're different than us, right? We have 3 different suites on our floor and 1 bathroom, okay? When we leave the bathroom, we wipe the counter down, throw the trash away, fucking make sure everything's perfect, no toilet paper on the ground. Sometimes your dude piss gets on the ground, clean the fucking shit. It's what we do. I do it, everybody does it. The neighbors, they don't fucking do it. We talk to them, we tell them they ain't like us. So what do? We go in there, if the neighbors leave their shit on the ground, we fucking clean it up. That's going above and beyond. We have janitors in the building. That's just one thing. If you walk in my office ever, you will never see a bottle laying around. You will never see fucking shit laying around. You will never see a chair out of place. It is militant with that. It's not because I'm an asshole. I'm not. My guy Jafar from Russia knocked the dude out last week in 22 seconds in the ring. I'm not fucking with any of these guys, right? These are killers that work for me. And I'm very well aware of that, right? Most of them on video of some sort, ex-UFC fighters, all sorts of shit. So I say that because I know, but y'all let me, I'm good though still, right? Y'all ain't kicking me off? Okay. But I'm almost done. And so I say that because, you got to be able to have, when I say we live and die by these core values, we live and die by these core values. We have a championship belt. It looks like a boxer's belt or a wrestler belt. That every week we hand to the person that most represents our core values. So if this week Mariana's carrying it and she says, all week long I watched Jose go above and beyond here and he kept his word on this deal that I thought was impossible, I'm going to hand him the belt. These people carry that shit with fucking pride, I don't know why y'all ain't never give it back to me. I'm just saying, I bought it, But that's the thing. It's just, you might think it's dumb, but every Monday morning before we get into our meeting, the first thing we do is we talk about core values. Hey, new guy, what's one of our core values? They'd be like, oh, shit, you did. He told you to learn them over the weekend. Because we're fucking serious about it. What does that mean to you? Cool. And they'll correct them. Now, here's what it really means. You're going to be a part of this team. Then I don't have to fire anybody. They figure out real quick whether they're going to operate in these conditions or not. Another thing I do is have a minimum pay. I'm not going to hire anybody for less than $50,000. We hire interns, people fresh out of college, people that have no skills. As long as they fit our core values, our minimum is $50,000 a year. Usually that's for our CSRs, who are people that are training to become salespeople. My top sales guy probably earned 7 figures this year. He's pretty close to it anyway already. Second place sales guy, probably $500,000 this year. And I've created a system to where they don't leave. You could offer them huge bonuses and they won't leave. They both own other companies that do well as well. And I put them on a residual plan. So every month when they wake up, they don't have to go chase new deals. Every month they wake up. For years, they've worked for me. Both of them have worked for me for a few years at this point. Both of them started in customer service. They wake up every month knowing that there's renewals coming in. Because our clients don't leave us either, because we live by these core values with them too and hold them to them. So you have 4 core values and a mission. You can pick whatever you want. Mine work. They work for us. You're more than welcome to use them. We've put a lot of thought into them. They're very simple because we want people to be able to repeat. We don't want to be like, what's our core values? Like, we the people in order to serve a more perfect union. Like, people got to sing a song to remember the shit. You know what I mean? Like, we want it to be something simple. Every time we have an Apex meeting, like we did today and yesterday in our building, we have the client say it with us. The only difference between like Apex and our company is we have different missions. As a part of Apex's mission is to represent what winning looks like at all times, but the core values don't change. So you guys want to know how to leverage stuff. And this is final 5 minutes here. First, you have to be the leader that you would want to come work for. So I would challenge you to write that down. Hey, who do I have to become? I had to go from this pot-smoking, like bad attitude, ex-felon person that just talked shit and was really good at sales, kind of a hustler, to becoming like, when Pastor Keith said, you're a natural born leader, it was almost as if somebody, you ever have somebody that you believe, and then like when they say something, it's like, that must be the truth because I really believe this person. Like I needed that person to say that, to speak into me, to become this person. But then I realized, like, in order for me, if I'm really going to help as many people as possible, think about this. If I'm really going to help as many people as possible, am I going to do that with bullshit players, or am I going to need fucking A players? If I'm going to change the world, I don't want like bullshit people. So I got to set standards. I'm not going to get somebody that's going to take my company to 9 figures and sell it with me for $30,000 a year buy-in. They're not going to do it. That person's already got a mortgage. That person's already got vehicles they got to pay for, probably a kid. Think about this. That's the key, though, taking the risk on those people. Because, that first goal may be to prove that you can make money. Second goal may be to prove that you can build a business. But at some point, it stops being about money. I'm still wearing the same jeans and Vans and T-shirts. The only thing that's changed about me is the planes I fly in and the cars I drive. Still live in the same little area I've always lived in. Nothing extravagant. Still wearing $50 jeans. And I used to wear $10 shirts. I've since moved to $25 shirts. Feel a little fancy, But here's the thing. It stops being about money at some point. And you start thinking bigger than that. For me, I'm thinking, how many people can I employ? How many people can I pay? Here's what I feel like. I might get emotional. But you ain't a real baller until you got ballers on your payroll. You know what I'm saying? I wrote a fucking $1 million fucking wire to somebody this month. You know what I'm saying? You know what that feels like? Right? So they sent it back. Fuck Tom Brady. But anyway, But still, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here thinking, but I also sent wires to Rick Ross. I also sent wires to Twista. He offered to do it for free. I also sent fucking wires to Paul Wall and Mike Jones and Ed Milet and E.T. Right? I'm fucking sending money. But they wouldn't come speak at my event just for money. I'm just paying for their jet fuel and shit. They wouldn't come speak to my event if I wasn't this person. That's what I'm saying. You got to really be that person. And you got to think bigger than money. First, you got to get the money. That helps. Trust me. But for the long term, it's like, how many families can I impact? Right? If I got Drewby, he just bought a house this week. Zach just bought a house last week. Thomas bought a house. Everybody's buying houses right now. Right? And it's amazing because, we're helping realtors make money. Loan officers make money. They're growing up. I've got all of these guys. You got to put 5-10% down on a house, $800,000, $900,000 around this motherfucker right now. These are guys doing that from my payroll. And then going, bro, we still got 6 figures in the bank account. Thank you, man. We love you. They would have to fucking drag us the fuck away from you. If anybody talks shit to you, we got you, right? These are those kind of people. That's what you need on your team. You got to think big, how many people can you employ? How many streets can they name after you? You ever think about shit like that? Right now, people driving down Main Street in Frisco. One day, that's going to be Stewman fucking Boulevard. That's what I'm thinking. Why not? You ever think about paying off your church? We owe $20 million on our church. That'd be the first fucking check I write when I sell phone sites. And I got a buddy in California, don't know, I'm going to pay his off too. They don't know. But that's one thing, you got to think bigger than this shit. It ain't about how can I sell another house or recruit somebody to EXP. It's how can I be a transformative leader? How can I be a person that people want to be a part of? We have 1,800 applications in the queue for our fucking job right now. If I could hire every one of them, I would, because I know I'm the person that could lead them to where they need to go. It hadn't always been that way. I'm not saying this out of ego or arrogance. I've done it from trial and error and learn. And if you ask any of my people, they're like, he's the same person behind the scenes. You ask my wife, who knows everything about you. Your wife always knows your shit. You can lead your spouse. You can lead anybody. Oftentimes, my favorite thing on a sales call, when the guy says, I got to talk to my wife. I tell you what, buddy, she don't know me. So if she says no to you, she's not saying no to me. It's not that she don't believe in me. I'm already rich. You did something, she don't believe in you. That's real shit, though. You call her. Now, fuck that. You're going to take my credit card. But I'm just saying, that's real shit. My wife's never, ever said, she said, you are fucking crazy. A lot, usually once a week, right? But she's never worried. Never. Again, if you can lead your spouse, you can lead anybody. So I want to challenge you to think bigger. There's maybe you're not a church person. That's not your drive. Maybe you want to go to space. You know what I mean? Elon Musk, he's like, man, fuck. I've made electric cars go to space. There's no limit to what we really can do. And you're in the most lucrative business. Most of you that are in real estate, you're in the most lucrative, wealth-building, money-making fucking thing you can. You go from single family to multifamily to huge-ass apartment complexes to selling skyscrapers that are fucking named after you, right? It's possible. But you got all starts with leadership. So I hope you guys got something. Did that help you? Yeah. now, you got to go home and do all this shit. This is the last day, right? Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh. So tonight, you got to go at least start doing some of this shit. Well, I appreciate you guys having me and staying, and enjoy the event. You will enjoy it more than my trip to Iowa tomorrow, I promise you. Fucking another uncomfortable family moment there. But thank you guys for listening, and you guys have a good evening.